and welcome to episode number 27 of the PT Central
We
podcast.
are getting old.
No way.
Older.
It's like our flirty 30s nearly. So it's Getting Real with Jazz and Nick, and today we're getting real about what do you do if your client doesn't have great technique, and how do you help your client get better technique?
Well, we should probably start with why does technique really matter? Because it does really matter more than anything. And why do you reckon that is, Nicole?
Well, obviously you don't want to be responsible for any injuries. Obviously, if a person is doing the exercise correctly, they're doing it to the right depth, they are using the right muscles, engaging the right muscles, therefore they get more results. They'll tone and strengthen the right muscles.
Otherwise they could be just wasting their time in the class,
and they won't get results, and then they blame you, or they get an injury and they blame you. So you better listen up, because this is for you and your benefit, to make sure your business and your personal training career succeeds.
That's right, definitely.
Yeah. So there's two types you've got to take it, I guess. Personal training and group fitness is very different, and then you've got different types of group fitness too. If you're doing choreography or a circuit class, different ways of approaching it. Let's start with personal training.
Yep.
Every client obviously responds to things differently. So what you might say to one client, for example, if you're doing a bent over row, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Some will get that, and they'll just instantly, squeeze and straighten their back. Others will still have that big round in their lower back, and then you have to think of other ways you could verbally cue that. Maybe the person isn't very good at verbal cues, and you've actually got to get a broomstick or a bar out and put along their back so they get used to having it straight. Same works for push-ups, or you can, if they're fine, always ask before you touch, can I just push here? You've got to flatten this part of your back. If you're doing a deadlift, some people are right round in the shoulders, and you say squeeze your shoulder blades. Yeah, and some people won't get that, but you could say as if you're squeezing oranges under your armpits, and some things like that. You just have to change your cues, and that works in group fitness too.
A big one for me actually is when I'm engaging my core, is that I always let my ribs creep up. So it's always like someone telling me when I'm in a session, ribs down. Yeah. Falling back down. That makes me think ribs towards your pubic bone, or something along those lines. Or they might give me a little bit of a tap there. So I guess there's different ways of...
There's many different ways that you can explain to engage core as well. And it also depends if you're working with female, male, their level of experience, where they're at with their core strength in general.
Yeah.
So if you're in a group fitness class and you're doing a choreographed class, say like Les Mills, you can't just get off the stage in the middle of your track and go and help that person. The most you can do is try and say some cues, try and say the cues a few different ways, try and get their attention. You can't single them out though.
Stare at them if you can without being rude.
Yeah. But what you can do is
you. Don't point, actually, just go you.
You can talk to them after the class and just say, hey, do you mind if I try this? This will help you get more results. And if you always approach it from that way, hey, I just want to give you a tip to prevent your injuries and help you actually get more results in this pump class.
Yeah, because they don't want to come to the gym and waste an hour in the gym. If you say to them, if we're not doing the exercise correctly, you're really just wasting your exercise time. And, would you rather be, burning as much as you can while you're here, or building as much muscle as you can, or would you rather just be coming in and really wasting your time a bit? Yeah.
So, it's always for their benefit. And the same if you see someone on the gym floor who hasn't got good technique, and this can actually be potential to sell to a personal training client too, if you just at a gym and they're not doing something great like a lat pull down, and it's a woman, you could actually say, well, to help you get a really shaped waistline, you shape the lat muscles, don't lean back and do this, sit up straight, brace your abs, make sure you pull down, squeeze the right through the shoulder blades, and explain like that. And if you always explain the benefit, they're more likely to listen to you as well.
And they're not going to get offended, because then you're not walking over and saying, oh, you idiot, you're not doing it right, how stupid are you? Because even if you say it kindly, people can still read between the lines and think that's what you're saying when you're telling them they're doing something wrong. So instead of telling someone that they're doing something wrong, you can put it like Nicole said, the benefit of it. Oh, you trim your waist down so much more if you did it like this, or your shoulders will be so much bigger if you just change that angle a little bit, so
There's always a better way to frame things. And I guess if you're in the group fitness class with a circuit, you can spend more one-on-one time with a person, and if they're really not getting the deadlift, you could take it back to a kettlebell deadlift, but still they mightn't be getting that. You
could just change the exercise altogether.
They still uses the same muscle, so it really depends on each person, and what their are, where they're at, because you're in group fitness. You're working with beginners all the way to advanced.
That's right, yeah. So you'll have
Yeah.
different levels and different, obviously, technique points that you'll need to pick up on. But you'll obviously get to know your clients and what their weak points are.
Yeah, listen to other trainers, go to other trainers' class, see how they cue exercises and coach technique. That'll give you feedback, ideas
Definitely.
for different clients with different ways of learning.
Definitely.
Cool. Right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.